What is up, Retro Maniacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is still Mike. I am still from Mike's Retro Trading Cards, and I'm joined by two men that will be appearing with me this coming Saturday at the Susquehanna Valley Mall Card Show in Schmokendam, PA. They are, of course, Joe Day and EP Eric Bahalik. How you doing, guys?
That was impressive. That you did not crack up.
I don't.
Did you not look at my screen?
I do not look at you. No, I know you're trying to make me laugh, and I don't fall for it because I, unlike you, am a professional.
You are a professional.
That is why I'm going to be charging $20 for picks and autographs at the card show this week.
Did you buy a table?
No, I'm just going to walk around and charge people. I'm going to say, "Hey, you want my autograph? $20."
Are we all wearing our? Are we all wearing our Mike's Retro Trading Card t-shirts?
Absolutely.
No, we're not.
AP and B hysterical.
We're gonna walk in. We're gonna be like, "Do you know who we are? Give us the table right now."
Yeah. Just plop slabs down on a table. We're Mike's Retro Trading Cards. Back off.
You know, Bill from the card shop is in charge of all that stuff, and I have a feeling he would probably laugh at us quite hysterically if we did that. But we like to joke around. But yeah, we're gonna be going for the first time since the National last year to a card show all together.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? Joe finally going to get off of his lazy butt and drive in for a card show.
And that's the only reason I'm coming to Danville. There's no other reason for me to come to Central PA that week.
Yeah, there's really not. Yeah.
I'm just getting in the car and driving out.
Nice. Well, I think we'll have a good time. I don't know. You might run into some fans there.
Are we expensing this whole thing? Is the whole trip? Do I send mileage to you, Mike?
No,
who's in charge?
No mileage. No.
Okay. No federal rate.
Nope. Right. No health care. Nothing. This is really not a very good job.
Cover the entry fee, though. Mike will cover the entry fee.
Yeah, I will cover that. Absolutely.
Yep.
On me.
There's no entry fee.
I got
Correct.
I don't know. The viewers might want some content, but we're all fat guys. We hate seeing ourselves, like our whole bodies on camera. So right. I don't know what we're going to do about that. But
we'll just hold up the phone like this to our faces.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get GoPros and put them on our heads.
That would be hysterical.
Yes, it will. But it'll be a good time. So, Joe, how you doing this week?
Well, I told you guys before the pod that I was doing a test run of EP and I's new show that we're going to be doing, Day Drinking with Joe Day and EP. So I'm on Gatorade today. I did the test run yesterday. Started around noon and ended around midnight. So yeah,
how'd that go?
I'm drinking Gatorade today.
Oh yeah. What's new and exciting, EP?
Well, I had a pretty busy day yesterday, so I didn't have an opportunity to day drink. So I'm going to day drink, morning drink here today.
There we go. Glad somebody's upholding the tradition here.
There we go. There you go. What is that, EP?
This is Pulp Fiction Grapefruit Hazy from unofficial sponsor, Rusty Rail Brewing Company.
Oh, we need to make that official this weekend when we're all in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just walk right in there with our matching t-shirts and be like, we have a podcast. Give us some beer.
Pull up the episodes on our phone and say, look at this. You could have this. You could be the official sponsor of this.
Joe,
maybe they could put it on their TVs
that we can give to them, show them why it would be beneficial to.
Okay, I'll work on something
to sponsor our podcast. People out there trying to get ComC and all these grading companies and all these other things. We just want some free beer. That's who we are.
And by the way, if we did have them as a sponsor, I wouldn't be drinking Gatorade. I would have to push myself. I would buck up.
Of
and
course,
I would have one of those Rusty Rails.
You'd have to be more responsible on Saturday, so you can
be less responsible on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, no, you're being more responsible by promoting the product that they're giving to us for free. Hopefully, after this weekend. Yeah. So let's get into it. We've talked a little bit about trimmed cards the last couple weeks. Any of you guys remember anything about that? Well, yeah. We did, and our old buddy Neo Cards and Comics has a really good video out about a trimmed Shohei Ohtani 2018 Topps Update Independence Day rookie card. The card is number 12 out of 76. Apparently, some people from one of the Facebook groups, and then it was like brought up on the blowout card forum, noticed that that card was once a BGS 9. It was a beautiful looking card, but it had a soft top right corner, had like 9.5 subgrades, but an 8.5 for that corner. Well, now that card was just auctioned off. The original BGS sold for like $2,000, and there was recently a PSA 10 sold for $11,000. And it has the same serial number as the one that was the BGS 9. And if you look at the card, the soft corner is now gone. Also gone is just a tiny little sliver of the right edge of the card. With the way the card's designed, they have stars on it and some other stuff, and you can tell that it's not the same as it was before. So, Evan Mathis was talking a lot about trimming cards, and people are just automatically assuming this is a vintage problem, but clearly not just a vintage problem.
Yeah, I actually watched Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics video this morning, and it was interesting. At first, when someone said, "Oh, a BGS 9 got turned into a PSA 10," I'm like, "Oh, they probably didn't have to do much to crack it open." And
happens every day. Yeah,
that happens every day. But yeah, you can definitely tell the corner is razor sharp compared to what it was in the BGS 9. And again, this comment is not about trimming. It's more about people willing to spend almost 6 times more for a card in a BGS 9 versus a PSA 10. That's ridiculous. And that reason is why people trim cards.
Yeah.
Like they can take a BGS 9 that was sold for $2,000, turn it into a PSA 10 and sell it for almost 6 times more. People wouldn't be doing it if they weren't making money from it. It's not to make the card look better for your personal collection. It's to make money off of someone else who's willing to spend 6 times more between those two grades.
Yeah, and like 6 times more is one thing when it's like $20 to $120. But when you're talking $11,000 at the final price, like that is an insane. That's like $9,000 profit they made by frauding the buyer. Like it's insane to me.
It is, but like the bottom line is, if that card would have gone into a PSA 10 even with that corner, it still would have been $11,000 card.
Because people don't actually look at the card.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't care about the card.
The problem with where we are with grading, everything being the number, like people don't care. Like everybody knows people don't care about the card. Whatever grade is on it is what they're willing to pay for it. And if that increase in value wasn't there, the trimmers wouldn't be trimming them. Like you have to, at a certain level, have kind of a lot of respect for the eye that these people have, though. Like to be able to look at that card and go, you know what? I can fix that. Like, because they have to find the right card to be able to make it work. It has to be just small enough that they know they can trim it. Like how crazy though? Like really, it calls into question how many newer cards are trimmed too. We've already, had the guy last year that was doing the Trevor Lawrence, what were the contenders and stuff?
By rookie ticket autos,
flattening the cards a little bit and then trimming off the edges. Like, we're to the point, and all of this is because people care about a number on a grade. They don't care about the card. They just care about the number. And nothing's ever going to change. It's probably only going to get worse because you have, the Kurtz card care thing and the trimming, all the ways that people are altering cards. Like we have no idea anymore. You're basically just buying and saying, don't tell me, I don't want to know.
Right. Well, I was going to say about the Kurtz car care thing. I mean, I watched a video on that recently. It was from 10 months ago or whatever, but someone just showing you how to get surface scratches off of cards. And it's like, it sucks that ultra modern cards or chrome cards come out with surface scratches. That's a quality control issue that we've been talking about for a long time, but that's how the card came out. it's just, it is what it is. And you kind of have to deal with that. But showing people how to remove scratches, then to take a card from a, a BGS surface grade of like an 8 or an 8.5 and turning it into probably a PSA 10 at that point, with the surface as well. It's just, and I wouldn't want that. Like, I have this, which side is it? There it is. Nope. There it is. Nope. There it is. It's the Pickett Merino that's ungraded. It's in a magnetic one touch, and it's got a jacked up edge. I don't care. It's a beautiful card. I'd rather have that than if someone came and said, "Oh, I can cut that edge off, and I can make it a BGS 9.5."
I can point you to a video to teach you how to do that if you want to. I feel like you should.
It's like, I'd rather have this card, knowing that it's the card that it is and how it came out, than I would want someone to come trim and fix it and get a higher grade on it. That doesn't matter to me, but it matters to a lot of other people, apparently, if they're willing to spend the money on these higher graded cards that are trimmed.
I called it a fraud, right? When I watched that video, like I just called it a fraud a couple minutes ago.
And it's a lot for you to throw out the F word like that.
Yeah, and like when I watched that video and I saw it, and that's like, I saw the card, and I like that people are able to take or are willing to take as low numbered a card as a number to 76 and do this. I had a brief thought where I was like, why isn't everybody doing this? I mean, I really hope nobody does, but I mean, how many people are doing it? And how many people are? I mean, it's almost like steroids in baseball. Like, exactly, everybody else is doing it, getting their PSA 10s.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point. Like, that's a good analogy. Actually,
it's completely gross, but like
it is.
That's how I feel like it right now.
But there's no care. Like, you're taking a serial numbered card, a low serial numbered. Like, people can look at what that card was and look at what it is, and they can tell if it's trimmed by looking at it, and you're not afraid to do it. Like, why is it that the sad part is that people in a Facebook group can find this out, but this company that we have anointed to be the god of grading and like increase the value of cards just because they slab them up, can't find it. Like how? Like, this is just wrong. Like, obviously they don't look at the cards long enough to know. They don't do any research on them to know if that card was pre-graded somewhere else. But still, like, I don't know. The whole thing is a scam. I've heard people say that before, but grading is a scam. I was not in that boat before, but now I am. Let's be real. You can point to all the different things that go on to manipulate the grades, and like Ziggy's mentioned this too. Like, there's no auditing. There's no, knowing if people are getting a fair grade compared to somebody else. If somebody is a big client, come on, they don't know that person's sending them cards. They know, like, they probably get certain graders that grade those cards. Like, we don't know that grading is on the up and up, and we never will. Because there's no paper trail. Like, they're not being regulated. Nobody's looking into it. And this company that all these people are making tons of money because they're using to get their cards graded have no accountability at all, period.
Yep.
And one of the crazy things that Neil pointed out too was that this person must be like really, really good at it. And they spend $2,000 on a card. But they just, it's like, I'll just buy a card for $2,000 and I'll fix that card. And I mean, it's like that, the amount of money, like, that is not an isolated incident, especially for the person that did that. Like, they have experience doing it.
Oh yeah.
Probably
they're good at it.
They probably had a number of cards in the order that they sent in that were like that and ended up being that way. Like, and how many people, he said that person who bought that card, submitted it, said, hey, this is a fake or it's been altered and I want to take care of it. But how many people don't care?
Oh yeah. They don't.
Especially when you're spending that much money. Like, that's now here's my question. What's PSA going to do about it?
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Like, now are they going to take it back and say, here's the 11th because we have a guarantee, whatever that means. Yeah. Our cards, our grades or whatever are guaranteed. Okay. Well, then I spent $11,000 on a card that is clearly trimmed. You guys didn't catch it. So I bought it on eBay. What's this guarantee actually worth?
What is the guarantee? We've talked about this how many times? What's guaranteed? Absolutely nothing. Like, what they might like decertify the card, But like again, I don't know. It blows my mind that they can be wrong about stuff this much. But I'm sure it's way more than we really even know.
I believe that this happened. There's one where I think it was on that sports cards nonsense that one of them had a card that ended up being a fake, and they back and they asked, "Do you want us to poke like they can drill holes in it,
Yeah,
the card, or they can have
rookie.
just destroy it?" And I think that's that might be what happens with this card. But I mean, as far as I don't think there was any discussion about getting their money back in that conversation.
Oh yeah,
so I'm not sure.
Won't. I doubt they will at all. It just again blows my mind. But it shows this problem is out there and is way worse than any of us ever realized. A 2018 Topps update card, yeah, that's a valuable card because it's Shohei Ohtani and it's numbered, but still, not the first card people are going to think about when you're thinking about trimming a card, right?
And I'm curious. I'd like to know more about how the card got into the guy's hands. Was he the one who he or she the one who bought it from eBay? And what's eBay going to do about it? I mean, if this person
was the seller on eBay the person that submitted the card?
Right.
No, I mean,
what is PSA going to do? This information is out there now. Are you going to respond at all? Are you just going to decertify it? Are you going to say that the person that sold it is the person who send it in to us and we're going to cancel their account so they don't send any more? I feel
there's no way they can't. The thing is that you could buy that card for $2,000, trim it, put it out at a show and say, yeah, look at that. That's a PSA 10. I guarantee you. I cracked it out of a BGS, BGS 9. Look at that. Just give me $5,000 for it. And then they get $5,000 for it. And then the other person sells it on eBay for $11,000.
Yeah. We don't know the lineage of the card. Yeah, that's what, I feel like that can be figured out though. It's not
with the eBay username
that we
and
don't
email
know,
and what their PSA email is. I mean, there is ways to figure it out. It's just, does PSA want to? That's the other thing too. It's I think I used this analogy before. It's like someone not wanting to go to the doctor, right? They don't want to find out what's wrong. PSA is totally fine, turning a blind eye to this stuff, because then that opens up a whole can of worms on how many cards they've sent out. So if they just keep their mouth shut, maybe they refund this guy or something, just to keep it, okay, we did the right thing, and then move on and pretend like this was an isolated incident. I think that's what their MO is going to be with this.
Well, I do give Evan Mathis a little bit of credit, because him coming out and being so transparent about this, I think has opened up a lot of eyes to it. Yeah. So hopefully, him doing that will lead to some good. And he's a scammer, 100%. He's frauding people, but I do applaud that he stepped forward and made this known and made it be known that PSA is grading a lot of trimmed cards. Whatever his motives for doing that, I don't know. They could be pure, they could be evil. But at the end of the day, if there are more people in the hobby watching out for this stuff now, maybe something good can come out of something bad. So.
Well, it might be one of those situations where PSA is like, we're not going to grade any more of your cards. He goes, oh, really? Okay, then let's have some fun with this. Former Eagle Evan Mathis is not doing this for good reasons.
I don't remember him playing for the Eagles.
Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We've talked a lot about breaking on this channel lately. Apparently DraftKings have been watching and they're like, you know what? That sounds like fun. We're a gambling company. That's gambling. Why don't we just do it? So they did. DraftKings entered the breaking market with a series of 4 breaks of 2018-19 Prism Hobby Basketball with the Luka Doncic rookie. They were doing it on 2-pack lots. You were bidding. The bidding started at $100. I looked and looked to try to find what the bidding ended up at, but I couldn't. So unfortunately, I don't have that information. But they were they were doing the breaking based on where the packs were. There are 12 packs, I believe, in a box of Prism, and they were doing just 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So think in the future, like any other products, they may do that. That'll be the same way they do it. So totally random, totally gambling. And, you know, again, they're probably the biggest gambling company in the world right now, right? So why not get into gambling? I guess, does this finally end the debate that wasn't really a debate, but was a debate for some people about whether breaking is gambling?
I mean, it should, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be a debate, but for some reason, a couple
right.
people are holding on. No, it's not.
Like, there's a possibility. Well, I guess since you're getting packs, you're guaranteed to get something. So that might be the devil's advocate argument for it's not gambling. Technically, you're getting something. It's kind of like how we had this kind of discussion about whether or not just opening up wax is gambling, you know. But you're technically getting something. So I guess that's what they could hold on to, but it's gambling. I mean, I was surprised when you were telling us about this before, Mike, that it was 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, or whatever. You know, like, to me, I'd rather them throw all the pack, you know, the numbers, and then do a random generator, and then you get, you know, your name is associated with 2 random packs, because we don't know. I don't know enough about Prism basketball if like the hit is always pack 7 or something like that. It probably is. There's probably some way to figure that out. But you know, I wish we had those ending numbers, because you would have to think that the highest, the one that people were bidding on the most and paid the most for, is the one. I wonder if that associated with the big pool. Yeah,
I'm guessing as big as DraftKings is, and the audience that they have, they made money off of it. So we're going to see more. So they'll probably come in with that kind of break, I'm guessing, next time. I mean, I don't see them stopping doing this, because they probably made a decent amount of money and probably had a lot of interest in it, I'm guessing.
I would imagine. I mean, why get into it in the first place if you weren't? I mean, they make a ton of money on daily fantasy sports, on sports betting, like
selling NFTs.
Yeah, golf NFTs, which I actually looked at the completed prices on some of those.
$533.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that world.
That's a hard pass for me.
But yeah, I mean, clearly there's money to be made in breaking. Like, we know that, and you have a company like they're not doing it for no reason. They're doing it because they realize they could make. Somebody there ran the numbers, did the analytics, and they're like, we can make this much money if we get into this thing. So
I'm wondering if they saw Fanatics was getting into it and said, they know what they're doing. Yep. So if they think they can make money on this, that we can do it. It'll be interesting to see like what.
And Fanatics, remember, is going to be a competitor there too, because Fanatics will be launching their sports book, their online sports betting. So yeah,
I see DraftKings like giving them a call and saying, "Hey, Fanatics, why don't we partner up? We're doing this now too. You know, we can be the official partner with Fanatics, as well as the NFL and all that sort of stuff."
And it'll be interesting to see too, like if they just do, I don't want to call it vintage, but like older products, or if they're going to spring into doing full like 2022 Bowman or something like that. You know, if they're going to go into that world, or maybe they're just staying with the high end stuff, because that'd be an interesting niche market that breakers sometimes do. But going back and getting some of that older product. Problem with older product though, how many redemptions were pulled out of that break?
Oh, yeah, I know.
That have expired for sure. So I was watching a break recently, and they pulled a, what was it? It was like a Saquon Barkley redemption or something, and it's expired. It was a 2018 product. And it's like, you know, what are you going to do at that point?
I mean, it's on you if you're buying into a break of Eddie Panini product, knowing how many redemptions, like the information's out there, you know.
Yep.
Who had a redemption card, who they were sending them out, like what is canceled, what is not. Like, it's really on you as a buyer to realize that and bid accordingly. But
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, interesting world we're getting into when
And that's a big boy company. DraftKings is a
that
big
is
boy
a
company.
big
Yes.
boy company. Absolutely.
So
That's
if they're going to
another
do
one.
it, that's a massive big boy
Yeah.
company.
I mean, this hobby's going to end up like just being controlled by gigantic corporate
Mhm.
companies.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like
Mhm.
like every other company that's every other market for anything people have been interested in, like just
Yep.
going to be owned by the billion-dollar corporations because that's
It's
how
going
it
to be on
works in
Amazon.
America, right?
Pretty soon,
It's gonna
Bezos is
be-
going to buy
Yeah,
all the card
Amazon's
companies.
going to be breaking.
Yeah.
whatever what company is the company that owns Coca-Cola and owns all the like giant, that's what the company it's going to own. Yep.
Right.
Oh, well, speaking of billion-dollar companies, my favorite billion-dollar company is Fanatics, right? We all know
this.
that.
I thought you were
I'm
going
a
to say Mike's Retro
shill.
Trading Cards.
We're only a multi-million. We're not quite to a billion yet.
Okay, all right.
But
Sorry.
you know, Fanatics may be buying us out at any day. I don't know. Not throwing any rumors out there. Don't want Sports Card Radio to be reporting on this, but
That'd be awesome.
big things are in the works. But yeah, people seem to forget about the fact that in August of 2021, when Fanatics acquired the licenses for baseball and football and basketball, they also got the MLB Players Association license. Easy for me to say. And at the end of 2022, both at the time, Topps and Panini, the license would be lost and it would be exclusively for Fanatics. Well, Fanatics owns Topps now, but now Panini can no longer make their unlicensed baseball product with current MLB players. Like this is pretty much like unlicensed product is done now, right? Pretty much. All
It's
you're
been
gonna
done for
have
me
out there
forever,
is,
but
yeah, well,
I mean,
but some people did like it, but
yeah.
like other than the NIL products that come out, like there cannot be any unlicensed product anymore.
Right.
I go ahead, EP. You
Well,
love
it's-
unlicensed products, so tell us your feelings on the fact that you're not going to be able to buy any unlicensed product anymore.
It's the thing is the prospects. The prospects could drive it depending on what they can do. Because like the products they do have prospects in it. They have Hall of Famers, past players in it, like fan favorites. But I don't think that stuff's going to drive it. I think the prospects are going to drive it. Because they can still take control of that market. But I'm not sure. Like Fanatics is already doing a good job of getting some really big names on their side. So that's the rub.
I never understood the unlicensed stuff. We've talked about, EP and I have debated a little bit about college uniform stuff. You know, I don't mind that obviously, but the unlicensed stuff I just never understood. Like there's nothing on that there's nothing on that helmet, there's nothing on that hat. I always thought it was weird too to have memorabilia cards in unlicensed product. I'm like, you can't show the logos, you can't do any of that stuff either. But I'm with you, EP. I think if they still are going to make baseball cards, which obviously they want to, it's going to have to be all Hall of Famers and then driven by prospects, unless Fanatics goes and signs exclusive deals with prospects. I mean, I don't know what that process would look like.
I don't know either, but I mean, I feel like the prospect market in baseball is really kind of tough to get into too, because you have all the Bowman product, right? Like Bowman dominates baseball prospecting. Like I'm sure like Panini will keep trying to put out product, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if after this year they continue to put that stuff out. Cause like, I don't feel like they're going to do that terribly well with a prospect based thing. Like I do think they could probably do higher end, like Hall of Famer retired player stuff. Like,
like a flawless product,
a flawless
national
and national
treasures,
treasures where you're pulling those guys out of it. Like I could see appeal, especially in breaking and stuff like that. If you have, certain Hall of Fame players, you can get their autographs and stuff out of it. That could be a viable product. But I mean, like otherwise, like it's going to be Sage and Leaf of football. Like nobody cares about their product, their football product. Like you might want to pick an autograph up of somebody because it's cheap, but like those products are horrible. Like
And
really, they're
if
not popular.
is the rumor still Leaf might get bought by Fanatics? I mean,
No, I think
isn't
I'm pretty sure that was debunked by
Was it?
Brian Gray,
Brian Gray?
or
Okay,
something like that. Yeah.
because I know we talked about that a couple.
But he
weeks ago.
didn't debunk it at first.
Right.
He played
throw that
around
out
with it a
there.
little bit.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
So
No one's really. I mean, so I guess my question is now is the NFLPA and then the NBAPA, are they following to Fanatics as well? Do they have? Are they going to get the exclusive?
as from what I've been able to understand, they already Panini has the NBA and Players Association license, and they have the football the same. So like they have exclusive license for both the league and the Players Association. Baseball was the only one that didn't already have exclusive deal for the Players Association. They had Topps and Panini both. But when their contract ended, this is the first one out of the ones that Fanatics acquired in the end of 2021 that is officially transferring to Fanatics. So
the rest will follow in the coming years.
Basketball, I think 2026 will be when they take over. 2027 for football is when they'll take over those products. But yeah, those are already tied up. Like I can't make an unlicensed NBA set because I can't get the Players Association. We talked about this a little bit when we were wondering what the Fanatics basketball product was going to be, because they literally can't make a set of current players because they don't have that license unless there was some kind of way to do that. So yeah, nobody can make football or basketball and haven't been able to because those have been tied together in an exclusive deals.
So this will be an interesting precursor then to what what Panini football could look like in a few years, right? I mean, because they won't have the ability to make products with NFL teams, and they won't have.
It'll look like Leaf, Leaf and Sage,
right?
Yeah, if they do it, yeah.
And Leaf and Sage don't. I mean, Leaf I guess might have a product that's a little bit higher end than the Pro Set. Whatever they call it, the Pro Set, what is it called? Pro Set Metal or whatever. They probably have a higher end product, but when you're talking Panini, you're talking National Treasures is a couple $1,000s a box. I mean, are people going to be willing to now keep buying National Treasures baseball when they can't even have current players in it? Like what's that going to look like? What's Flawless going to look like, especially at the football when they get football and basketball? What are those products? Are people going to be willing to shell out high-end dollars for products that don't have current players and don't have any of the license or any of the logos or anything?
Yeah, they definitely won't be able to charge what they charge now.
Right.
They will, like I said, probably continue to make the product with a lot of the Hall of Fame players and stuff in it. But like really, if you're not replenishing that crop every year like you do with rookie classes in the sport, it doesn't feel to me like something that like has a lot of longevity to it. If you're releasing literally the same product every year, if you're just doing
Panini's watching the news, Roto World, see who's retiring every year. Okay, we can get this guy in our product, right? Refreshing.
The incoming rookie retired class.
Right, there it is.
Well, there we go. I don't know. We better trademark that idea now before they steal it.
They can change the rated rookie to retired rookie.
Retired rookie. Oh my god,
I love
it.
Fantastic. Oh my god, we have to go trademark that right now before Panini gets a hold of it, or some other person randomly using rated rookie for different kind of cards. We won't get into that today, though. This is a family show. It's not. Well, speaking of unlicensed cards, this is going to be a weird transition because we had that segment there, and now I'm going to talk about an unlicensed set that I'm actually excited about. Bowman Inception University is coming out this month. They're going to have some of the football and men's and women's basketball, including autographed cards of Victor Wembanyama and Caitlin Clark, which, by the way, that card is going to, I don't want to call it a sleeper, but that card is going to be huge out of the set. Yes. I don't know how many people do realize how popular she is, but wow, like I'm not even a women's basketball fan. I'm not a basketball fan in general. I would love to have pull that card. I would be so excited if I pulled her autograph out of there. So that's pretty cool. They're gonna have 2 autographs per box. They're gonna have booklets, which we like. They have a really cool
Like booklets.
2023 die cut autograph set too. That
Mhm.
they have the numbers 2, 0, 2, and 3 with autographs on it, so you could collect like the 2023, like 4 different cards autographed that make up the one 2023. I know, kind of very gimmicky, but I got to admit, I love die cut cards. So
Mhm.
Die cut cards are
I'm
awesome.
in. Yeah, I'm in on that. So $200 a box. EP. How many are we buying?
I could totally see myself buying a box. Just because of how cool it is.
Absolutely.
Like there's no, you're not going to make your money back on it. Like the chances of hitting, it's a
No,
I'm going
that
to pull
attitude.
Caitlin Clark 1-1.
100 card checklist. So your chances of hitting the couple big ones you really need to be able to make your money back is probably going to be tough. But like Caitlin Clark's not the only, like you said, only women's basketball player in there. Like there's a bunch of players from that were in the Final Four this year, and again the top NFL rookies this year are in there. Still Stroud and Young
And
like
Victor Wembanyama. Like,
and Wemben. Yeah. I mean that's the
that
big one, right? Like
gonna
that's
sell it right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
That'd
I'm
be like
not a
hitting a
big
Drew Jones,
basketball
with
player
Bowman.
fan, but I
Yeah.
want his card.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's going to be like a high end classic 4 sport. Is that what we're
classic
Is that what
2
we're thinking?
sport.
classic 2 sport?
Yeah.
No, it would be, hey, EP, let's get a case, man.
No.
Come on, Snoozy's
Why?
on a case.
It's a ridiculous price. No
What's
way.
$200
$200 a
a
box is
box?
nothing.
What are you talking
That's
about?
nothing.
What did you
Like a
pay
s-
for Bowman?
It's a
For a box of
$16
Bowman
case, I
Jumbo.
think.
What did you pay for Bowman Jumbo?
$490 a box.
So $200 a box is too much, but $490 was just fine.
I got like hundreds of cards out of each box. You're gonna get 6 cards per box out of Bowman Inception University.
Oh,
6
come
cards.
on. But 2
Let's
of them
do
will be
it.
autographs.
Yeah, and the 90 people in the set that nobody cares about.
Wow, take that. Some
Coming
random
from the guy
Alabama.
who pulled the Drew Jones auto numbered to 150. Oh yeah, you're not going to
Listen.
get anything good out of it.
Sun shines on the dog's butt every once in a while.
We need EP. What we'll do, Mike, is we'll pay for the case. We'll have EP rip it though, and get his golden hands. You know, the golden touch that he has.
Maybe
And I think
sounds like a
I
good
think Ken
idea.
Golden actually trademarked. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but yeah, I'd be interested in opening up a box. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
It'd be a fun.
we
Well,
should all get a box and rip them
box
together
war,
on a live.
box battle, box
no,
war.
no war.
No way, because if I get Caitlin
No.
Clark, I'm not giving it to you. Or
Yeah,
Wembanyama.
I'm not either. You're gonna have
No,
to
we'll just
pry
say it
from
is.
my
Oh,
Just
wait,
say it
yeah.
is.
That's a good idea.
Just say it
Joe.
is, guys.
Yeah.
And then we'll exchange. We'll trade. We'll send the cards to the other
I
person.
like it. I'll edit this part out of the video.
Yeah,
People will
yep.
never know like that we're scamming everybody with our fake box war. Yeah.
Yeah, we can curate some interest in our video.
We would definitely curate.
It would be great curating of a video. I think.
Definitely would.
Is that subtle enough? Am I being subtle enough about that?
Oh, I don't. Yeah. What you're just.
Subtle like a brick
talking
wall,
about it.
maybe. But yeah, it would be fun. It would be a fun
yeah.
ride.
I mean, EP, what are your thoughts? I kind of have a feeling that a lot of this Bowman University stuff down the road is gonna be kind of hot. Am I wrong here? I'm looking at it from the perspective of Bowman baseball.
Mhm.
Bowman First is like a huge thing in baseball card collecting. When Fanatics takes over the football license, the basketball, isn't there a pretty good chance that those Bowman Firsts from a couple years earlier of all these stars in those sports might be worth money, right? I think people sleep on this product a little bit.
Yeah, that was the comparison I was going to make. Bowman First, like that's that. I mean, that is the bottom line. And once they take over I mean, if they're not making Bowman products of basketball and football, then they're doing it wrong. Because I mean, that's people are going to be hunting those first. It's going to be a huge deal. And like, yeah, especially now with, I believe Bowman Inception University has the college logos on it. So I mean, like, and that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal too.
But here's my question to push back a little bit. But I agree with you in general, Mike. My question is, especially football, people in general, not me, but people in general don't like college uniform cards. They don't. So I'm curious on how a Bowman U, a first Bowman of Bryce Young in his Alabama uniform, I'm curious on how people will actually like that, because we see in Panini products that the collegiate stuff is really, really hot when it comes out. And then it drops massively when the stuff with the pro uniforms in value. It drops massively when the pro uniform stuff comes out.
I think that first Bowman logo, it has a lot of value, like a lot of power in the hobby, and also it's if you get a first Bowman logo with an autograph, that is going to be just like the baseball autographs. I think that is what would drive people to like those products more.
It'll cancel out any sort of negative feeling that collectors have.
Well,
about
one of the things to consider too, though, that these are going to be released maybe a year, maybe 2 years before the NFL product comes out too. So like it is that way now, but you're talking about a card coming out with a college uniform in the same year that he's a rookie in a pro set. Like say you had Tom Brady rookie card, but he had a 1998 card, a Bowman first 1998 in his Michigan uniform before he was even drafted. Like I kind of feel like that'll differentiate a little bit. People will be like, well, yeah, but that was like 2 years before his rookie card. Like that, they're a thing in baseball now before they're on their pro team. So like the technical rookie card is once they're in MLB, but still people are paying good money for the Bowman first that came 2-3 years before that.
There are a lot of people paying a lot of money for the SI for Kids cards of athletes, and because just because they are the first card. And a lot of people think, well, this is the rookie card. This is the first card of that person, even though it's not a rookie card.
But in the Bryce Young case, though, he's going to have pro cards this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they're not from Topps. He's going to have Panini product pro cards. So,
but he also had a first Bowman last year, I believe,
which was not in his Alabama. I mean, Alabama's easy because they don't really have a logo, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't have the logos last year because I wanted to get a Kenny Pickett one, but he didn't have the Pitt logo yet. So, or they didn't have the Pitt, the college logos yet. Easy for me to say.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to be popular down the line, and I don't know, maybe I should buy up more of them. I'm glad I sold my Will Levis card though. When he dropped in the draft. Whew.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're a case each or box of 2 cases? Come on,
I think we could get 2.
You have all that Drew Jones money, man. Do something with it.
Yeah, you have more money than both of us combined, right? Joe?
That is not true at all.
Oh. Well, I hesitate to bring up this topic because I know both of the guys I'm talking to today love James Bond movies. Me, not so much. Never really been my thing. Not that I dislike them, just never really got into them. But EP, you sent this information my way that Upper Deck is going to be releasing a James Bond Black Diamond set. I love the use of the Black Diamond name, by the way. Being a retro guy, Black Diamond is just fantastic. Comes out, I think, in October of this year, so it might be out by 2025, 2026.
That's not a joke.
But yeah, it's a high-end $300 a box, 1 pack per box with 6 cards per pack. You get either an autograph, a diamond relic, or a golden nugget in each box. So you don't even get an autograph in each box. And $10 case. Are we in?
How many cases are we buying?
That's the question, right? You're a huge James Bond fan, EP. How are you saying
$50 a card? Are you serious?
Hey, you're not even guaranteed spend money to make
in a box. You're not even.
I heard recently that you got a Drew Jones and sold it and made money.
Always with the Drew Jones.
I think you could take that Drew Jones money and convert it. Maybe half of it send to Bowman U Inception, and then half of it case of James Bond cards. I mean, I'm in. Are you in, Mike? I'm in.
Totally. I don't even like James Bond. I'm in.
So for my Drew Jones card, I get 3 boxes of James Bond and 3 boxes of Bowman University.
Love it.
Inception.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't understand the issue here. Mike, we need to check the timer because you did allocate 25 minutes for EP and I to talk about James Bond. So,
No, I said I
EP,
will
who's your
eliminate
favorite
everything
Bond?
over 25 seconds.
Who's your favorite Bond? Quick, EP.
I think Daniel Craig has won me over.
Okay. I
What about
grew
you?
up with Pierce Brosnan. I grew up with Pierce. So
respect to
I like
Connery.
Roger
Connery's
Moore.
awesome.
Oh, Connery's the greatest of all time.
All right,
Roger Moore is the
get out here with your
worst.
Roger Moore. You're just
I
he's
cannot
trolling.
stand
He's trolling.
Roger Moore.
He's trolling us. He knows
He
he's
is.
trolling us.
Oh,
What's wrong with
God.
Roger Moore?
Give me George Lazenby over Roger Moore any day of the week. Timothy Dalton.
From Russia with Love is my second favorite movie. My favorite of anything that pre Daniel Craig. What's your favorite one?
I mean,
Okay.
because
Nobody
of the video
cares
game,
about any of this.
because of the video game, I still
Yes.
say GoldenEye. I
GoldenEye?
still love
Okay.
GoldenEye.
You know,
I
we
still
are
love it.
recording.
Are
and
we?
Nobody wants to hear your crap. Nobody cares. You
All right,
are like
back to
the
the
only
cards.
two people in the whole world that care about James Bond. And they're
Obviously not.
obviously
because
no,
we're selling
it's
cards.
not for you.
So the Black Diamond thing is awesome because that's Upper Decks now. They're high end when they do any of the non-sports stuff. I watched Avengers Black Diamond rips. Again, 6 cards per pack. You're not guaranteed an auto per pack. And like I think the diamonds are diamond relics. They're manufactured diamonds. They're not even real diamonds.
Right.
So like it's joking aside, I can't see myself in good conscience opening up a box of that James Bond product.
They do have like gold, like actual gold in it, numbered to 10 for some cards. But again, like there's I mean, your chances of pulling anything like that out of that, like it's just, and I think all of those are also autographed. So like it just, man.
And the problem with
so rough.
the problem with non-sports cards from like movies and TV shows and things like that, we've talked about this before. At least I know EP and I have, that there's just the checklists are so big. It's like Star Trek's the same way. You could get a nurse that was in one scene of a James Bond movie signing autographs. So it's like that's just too big of an autograph checklist to even think. Even if you got an autograph, it would be any good.
An ensign that died in a hallway had like 2 minutes of screen time. Yeah.
It's just what are you gonna do with that? You know, it's very very tricky to. I want to though.
Well, yeah, of course.
Mike's just sitting there. He's like, he's gonna buy a box.
Wait, are you gonna buy a box?
I kind of feel like I'm doing my wrestling podcast.
Though this was only a couple minutes. To be fair, your wrestling podcast is like 3.5 hours long. So.
It was very informative, though. It was a great podcast. You should all check it out. But the reason I bring up James Bond wasn't just to troll you guys a little bit, but wanted to discuss what are your feelings on a type of product like this? Not the James Bond, but the 1 pack per box product. The $300 for 6 cards, $50 a card. Like, what are your feelings on this type of product? Not just for James Bond, but like for any sport.
You want to talk gambling? This is This is gambling. Right. It's going to the casino, putting all your chips on black or whatever, and just letting the wheel spin. I mean, this is as close to legit gambling as it is. 1 pack, 6 cards, and you see it a lot. This is not just Black Diamond with Upper Deck. It's not just James Bond Black Diamond either. There's a bunch of Black Diamond products, but you see it. Panini does a lot of the Panini 1 is 1 card. If I remember correctly. I mean, you see a lot of these 1 pack things, and remember back in the shop, this is what made me think of it. Remember back in the shop when you would randomly hit like a hot pack and it was like all inserts. I mean, that's what these are. It's just a hot pack, but at the end of the day, not every insert was worth anything. So it's like you're getting 6 cards out of 1 pack, you're paying a premium for it, and you might get dog crap, in that pack. I've seen some of the Panini products that are more than $300 for 1 pack, and people get nothing. Like the autograph is like Gus Farad. I mean, it's not great.
There's a place for it. I feel like. I mean, there's that definitely breakers and people who buy into breaks. Like this is the kind of product like on that high end level of that. I mean, that's what this product is about. Yeah. I don't know. it doesn't see. I'm guessing that there are breakers out there that do a lot of non-sports, including James Bond. But like this is definitely a breakers product. Like Upper Deck called it the first high-end James Bond. I find it hard to believe there hasn't been one previously by another company, but it may be the first for them. But yeah, I mean it's not my cup of tea. I would rather buy a box, for $100 and have a whole bunch of base put together sets. That's my where I like to live. But like this interests me enough, just like Bowman Inception University, where if the price would come down or something, I would think about getting a box just because of like how cool it is. I wouldn't want to try to collect like any sort of set or anything like that out of it.
No.
So I mean, it would just be ridiculous.
You just couldn't.
Yeah, you're a set builder, so not your kind of product. But like, I mean, really, at the end of the day, you're taking a box and you're getting rid of all the base cards. Like some people don't care about the set building. They don't care about the base cards. So
some breakers don't even send the base, right?
Yeah. And this product is for those people. Like, here, get the hits. We'll get rid of all the crap. We'll just cut all that out of it. Let's not pretend you actually want those. We'll give you what your hits would have been in the box. And, I feel like it has a place. Like, why not? Like, especially like the James Bond stuff, like $50 a card is a lot, but like the $300 entry point into it for somebody who might want to take a chance on one isn't that bad, like in a way. So, I feel like that'd be like if it had base cards in it and it had 24 packs, would you feel better about it when you got the same number of hits out of it? Like, I know EP, you like the set build, so you're like, okay, I would rather that product, but some people wouldn't. They just don't want all the base cards.
Yeah, people use base cards to protect cards that they're shipping to people sometimes. But when you see breakers go through, like if it's, I'm just going to use Score as the example because there's so much base and the packs are like this thick, and they don't even leaf through the base. They just pull where they know the hits are, put the base aside, and then go through the hits. I mean, I get it for sure, but I'm kind of with EP on this. I would rather a 24 pack box, same entry point, because I think it'd be cool to see. Usually with non-sports, they do like scenes from the different movies or the different show or whatever. I'd like to see that. I think those are fun to put together. But you're right, Mike. I mean, there's definitely a place for it, and this is a breaker product. I'm curious on how they would break something like this. Like, would it be card spot? Would it be you have to pay for this certain type of hit, and it's an auction situation? Like, I'm curious with James Bond how that would work out. If everything's numbered, you do the left side serial number. I see people do that sometimes as well.
They also some of them do the alphabet, so like the last name of whatever character it is. So like A through Z, like stuff like that would work. But yeah, like if this was $100 a box, I might buy a case. You know what I mean? Like if it was, because I feel like that would be like $100 feels like a really.
If National Treasures was $500 a box, I would buy a case too.
Right.
I feel like that's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, but the bottom line is,
if someone handed me a case, I would not say no. I swear.
If that new Tesla was $2,000, I would totally buy it. Well, I don't know. I think,
and he has all that Drew Jones money. I don't understand what he's doing here.
I have a great idea. Take the Drew Jones money and let's combine Day Drinking with Joe and EP with a break of a case of James Bond.
The Drew Jones money is 5 boxes of it, not a case of it.
I'll kick in half.
Okay.
But
right.
So that's 10 boxes.
Use a little of that credit that eBay is always trying to give. Everybody. What could go wrong?
I saw that Drew Jones, and then the next offer was like, "Oh, look at this guy!
Let's give him more money.
Give him $100,000 in eBay credit."
I think Drunken Breaking has a market out there, and I feel like you guys are not taking advantage of the opportunity that's out there, and I would like to see you guys pounce on that a little bit.
PSA 4 is guaranteed.
Drunk Breaking,
like dropping all
and it's got to be like Pokemon, so we have to try to pronounce the names.
Wow, that would be fun. Yeah. You'd probably have more viewers than we've ever had for anything if we tried to do that.
Drunk Breaking.
Well, I think that wraps it up for this week. Don't have anything else. Anything else? Anybody? Anyone to talk about?
Anything?
No.
Steven?
No.
Nothing? Nothing.
No, nothing there. No. Okay. Well, other than that, I guess if you're in the central Pennsylvania area on Saturday, make sure you stop by the Susquehanna Valley Mall. There's really no reason to go there other than the card show. But the card show is going to be there, and so are we. And who doesn't want
Autographs.
to meet us?
Got an
Autographs,
autograph.
only $25. So pictures are only $10, $25. But other than that, we will see you next week.
Adios.
See you, folks.